Hi, this is Amanda with Always in Love Books. We're two gals that are choosing video blogs about some really great romance books that we like. I'm also a blogger over at Jack of All Trades, Master of None. The links are going to be in the description. And this is Ethel.
Hi, my name is Ethel Joe. I am a blogger for A Day with Ethel. It is my underground name, so if you know me, you know I have a different name. And Amanda and I got together after we met on one of our favorite book chat groups, the Walshes, which we follow one of our favorite authors, Kate Canterbary, and we kind of chose her books to kind of start us off. And so there was 4 books that we've read, and then she has another coming out in a couple days. And the first book is Underneath It All. It's the first of the family. And Amanda has the cover, which is quite sexy. And it's Matt Walsh and Lauren Halstead. And it starts with Matt is an architect, and Lauren is a teacher starting her own school. And they kind of go through this emotions where Matt really wants to date her and Lauren wants something to do it because her life is so busy. And Matt wants to kind of be the alpha male and take control over that. They kind of go through these roller coasters. You meet the family, which kind of starts with book 1. And then throughout the books, you get to hear about the rest of the family. Matt is kind of one of my favorite guys. I think they call him the bitey brother. But he's still he's funny. And then the way Lauren is kind of this little spitfire, and she kind of takes control over them when they, deal with some family stuff. And that's where I really appreciate Lauren. She doesn't put up with any of the bull crap, but I think that's because of how she was raised. And throughout the series, you kind of get to see more of Lauren, and then Lauren's family gets incorporated into the books too.
The second book in the series is The Space Between. It follows the oldest brother, Patrick, and he has a interoffice romance with his intern architect, Andy Asani. So it's really great. This older guy, younger girl story. But my favorite part about this is actually the architecture. Since they are both architects, Kate Canterbary took a lot of time and put a lot of effort into actually getting the architecture stuff right, the way that things work, and all the different aspects of being an actual architect in the office and doing the work. So that was kind of my favorite part. The romance was awesome. Patrick is my favorite Walsh guy. He's bitey, growly, gruff personality guy. But as soon as he kind of starts falling for Andy, she really opens him up, and you get to see this whole other side of Patrick. And the same with Andy. She's been called an ice princess, and but the two of them, they really open up to each other, and you get to see this whole completely different part. And then she starts to open up to the family, and they become this huge big clan. And that's one of my favorite parts, is the emphasis on this family, blood related or not. They just all become this great big family. And then the third book is Necessary Restorations.
And it is the life of Sam Walsh, who's kind of some of the brothers call him the runt of the family, and he is inspecting a building that he was supposed to meet his sister Shannon at, and he gets in the elevator with this person that has too many bracelets on, and she keeps drumming music, and it's driving him nuts. And they go from this horrible day of being caught in an elevator to him finding his calmness with her. And it's the story of Sam and Teal. Teal is what I would call a music therapist, but she's really not. But I think it's music therapy because of the way she loves music and their passion for it and what she does with it. And Sam finds himself, I think, a lot because he's dealing with his past. Like in Underneath It All, there is some family stuff that goes on that the family has to deal with. And then Teal is his kind of like his go-to, like his person he can escape from everything. But they find common ground, and they're opposite. I mean, they are completely opposite, and they come together in this Necessary Restorations. And it's probably I liked it because there's a lot of ups and downs, and you didn't know where the book was going to go. But the writing was amazing, and the way I don't know. I kept picturing Teal. I just had this imagination of what Teal looked like in all of her jewelry, and then when she was playing the music, and then Sam in his gingham shirts, and he just was like sharp dressed man. That's what I would call him, as a sharp dressed man. And Teal was eccentric, and I loved it. And the book four, we kind of go into Cornerstone.
That is the story of the oldest sister, Shannon, and she's kind of she's taken over the role of the motherly role. Unfortunately, their mom died when they were young, and she's kind of been the mother hen to everyone in the family. She's kind of taken over it, and she meets Lauren's brother from the first book, her brother Will, who is a Navy SEAL. He's one of those big, badass, tough guys, and he takes over and he takes some of the burden from her, and the whole story is kind of like an up and down of their relationship, and finding equal footing for the two of them to where it works for both of them. So what did you think of Will?
Oh, I liked Will. He's probably, if I couldn't have Patrick or Matt, I would choose Will as my book boyfriend, because he was an alpha male, but he also wanted to be sweet and kind. Like, he wanted to help Shannon get through, because she was kind of like, she bust your balls, but she was always doing it with her brothers, and Will wasn't going to let her bust his balls. Like, he's like, no, I'm in charge here. And I like that she could fall on him and use him as her, kind of like her soft pill to land, even though their sex was no softness. But those two just they just were both alphas coming together. What of all the books, what was your favorite scene out of the 4 books?
Of the 4 books, I really think it would be the part where in the Cornerstone where Will kind of does whatever, he goes and he's on a mission, he gets injured and comes back and stays with Shannon, and they're broken up at this point, which is, it's perfect for them at the time because it was really what both of them needed, but he
Mm-hmm.
gives up everything and does everything for Shannon to show that he's really in it. One of the funniest parts of it is he goes to her early morning spin class with all of the hot yoga moms, and it's absolutely hysterical, but it really shows what kind of guy Will is, and that he'll do anything to get Shannon, and it was one of my absolute favorite scenes in the entire series.
I noticed that I was laughing out loud a lot, and then I had to reread that again, because some of the one-liners that in all 4 of the books, that's what I liked, is that the writing style made me feel like I could picture these people walking around, just walking around, because they felt like normal people. There wasn't like the cookie cutter.
Yeah, it's so real. It's so great. There's so many ups and downs in the relationships that it's so awesome to be able to see. Like, you could see your next door neighbor going through the same stuff as it. Instead of, some of these books, I'm not going to name names, but they have these high-powered jobs, but they don't ever go to them, and then somehow they get promotions and things like that. Not like that. I mean, it's so real. They do their jobs every day, and they have things that they have to do over their personal life, and all things like that. And it's just really great how each of the characters, they might have their problems, but they actually talk and communicate and really get over the issues on themselves. And that's really one of my favorite parts of this book, in particular, because Shannon kept everything bottled up for so long, and then she finally had somebody to talk to Will, and it kind of really, it helped her get through a lot of things that had happened to her in her life and that she was going through. It was great.
And I think that's kind of like Patrick and Andy's story. Andy was so worried because there's the age difference, and then she was kind of the intern working at the architect's firm, and that's all she thought about was architecture. That's all she wanted. And then in comes Patrick, and he changed her. You said she was the ice princess, but she kind of she found where she fit in, because she always never felt like she fit in. And I just like how that was written into the story. It kind of made it real, because not everything comes easy for people, and you're trying to do something good. And I liked it. It wasn't easy. Everything had to be worked out.
What was the funniest part in any of the books that you can think of?
For me, I'm sorry, it's Cornerstone again, and it was the lime fight, because I could totally just see Shannon taking that lime and chucking across the thing and smacking, like I can actually just hear that thunk and the whole deal. And then probably the elevator, when Sam and Teal are in there and she's humming and he's like, can you just stop doing, like, just stop for just a minute, because he was just like to the point. And I've been in a situation when some random person just flying and they won't stop talking and you just want peace and quiet, but then the peace and quiet happens and then you're like, okay, you can start talking to me again. It's just because the annoyance happened and then I got used to the annoyance and then I want it back. And I like that because Teal didn't give a crap. She's like, I'm gonna play my music, I'm gonna tap my fingers, and I'm gonna jingle my wrists. So those are kind of my standout ones.
But each of these books had such great funny moments. Like some of the lines, some of the things that they say, it really, instead of just being like a romance book that's like hot and heavy and that's all there is to the story, there's so much depth in the characters, but there's also this humor, this kind of sarcasm that is so great, and it's so funny to read. Like you really will be laughing out loud the whole time, and that's one of my
Oh
favorites.
yeah, yeah, it's probably my favorite because we have stickers to prove stickers to prove of some of the one-liners, and I use that saying quite often, and that's why I like. It's just the whole series comes together. You get to see everybody in it, and then with the new book coming out, I can't wait for anybody and everybody to read the new book. And Restored is really, I can't wait for others to read it and get to see what happens.
Yeah, it was great. It's a continuation of Sam and Teal's story. It's restored July 12th, and it instead of just being like one of those books that continues stories just for the sake of continuing a story, it really feels like it picks up and it adds to their story. Like it felt like there was something
Mhm.
left a little bit unresolved almost, and this story really helps them kind of find that groove as a couple instead of trying to fight everything on their own. And that's one of my favorite parts of the
Yeah.
book. It's one of my favorite parts of the series is she really kind of helps, or not helps, but kind of always everybody gets their happy ending instead of just like a happy for now that a lot of books just kind of stop. And one of my other things is she really doesn't do like the epilogue 5 or 10 years down the road. Those are so annoying sometimes because it's just like, oh, you finally got together, and then all of a sudden they're married and have babies, and it's just like such a disjoint. And then Restored really doesn't feel like that. It really feels like it picked up right where the last one left off, and it almost quite literally did pick up where the last one left off, but you really felt fluid and it felt like it needed to happen in order for them to kind of
Mm-hmm.
get their piece.
And I think it was good because it brought the family together, so it brought everybody in and it kind of showed the what was going on, and it brought some of the other books in, the other characters. And I really could read anything Kate writes. It could be, I don't know, it could be the description of my cereal box and I would probably read it just because there's depth in what her writing style is.
Frequently want to ask, for things like her shopping list, just so we have more to read from her.
We should. Can we have that shopping list? What do you get in art? Because it's kind of nice because she one-offs, like, I don't know how she has quick wit and quick writing, and it's I don't know how to describe it. It's just she's just really a good writer, and I appreciate it.
If you're interested in more from Kate Canterbary, her links are going to be in the description. And also, if you want to join the group where a lot of us have actually met and found our love for reading and our love for passion, the link for her group is in here. And it's really great because she's very interactive. She's very talkative with the group. She really does a lot of fun things just for her readers. It's really great to see her, the way she interacts with everybody and the way that they kind of promote her books in a way, and just the love of the community, the positivity, everybody that's really there, that brought together by this family.
And it wouldn't have brought you and I together to start Always in Love.
It's true. We are Always in Love book reviews. We will hopefully have another review coming soon. If you like it, please subscribe. And thank you for joining us.
Thanks.